Hello everybody, this is G-Man Smiley, and today I'm here to draw you a picture. No, I'm not, but this is basically a video about how to use mouse and controller on any console. Now this is using a cronusmax Plus, or the newest one basically. And yeah, so I just want to go over the basics first. You need a PS4 or an Xbox One or any supported device by cronusmax. You can look on their website to see what is supported. You need a laptop preferably, or a PC, but you need a long wire. So basically you're gonna have your cronusmax plugged into your PS4 directly, or into a hub into the PS4. Just it needs to be connected to the PS4 through a USB port. And you also need the end of the cronusmax plugged into your controller. You can use the Bluetooth dongle, but the one that comes with the cronusmax really isn't that good, so I'd recommend using a cord. So yeah, you want that connected to your controller, and then on the side of the cronusmax you have I don't know, is it mini B? I forgot what it's called. Another USB type of wire that comes with the cronusmax that you'll want to have connected to directly to your laptop. And you do this because you want X-aim to communicate with the cronusmax. The X-aim will be sending the mouse input into the cronusmax so that the PS4 can interpret it and use your actual mouse movements. So yeah, that's the layout right there, and you have your mouse directly connected to the laptop, not the PS4. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and jump into this. So you'll open the program. It'll require admin privilege, so you'll click yes, and you can change that by going into properties and having it open with admin every time, so you don't have to click yes every time. Once you do that, you'll be opened up with probably that page. So what you can do is go to the bottom here and click well, you don't have to do that, but you want to go to your GPC compiler if you want to use scripts and anything. So at the top here you'll have plugins. You want to click that, download X-aim, which doesn't normally come with the program. It shouldn't. You'll download that and you can open it. This will pop up. And then you can open up, use a folder here, open up your codes, click it like this. I opened up the same one, so it didn't do anything. And then you can, once it's opened up here, you're on this page, you can now go to layout options and load the script, and now it's in the program. I don't know if you'll need a new layout. It has a lot of pre-made ones. Anyhow, you can edit any of them and save it with here, export and import right here. It saves it as a GLF file. So if you want to use a keyboard and mouse or just the controller, what you want to do, if you want to use just the controller and mouse, you go to options. Go to options right there. You uncheck ignore CM controller input, so that you can basically, this is made for keyboard right here, this option. It's so you don't accidentally click a controller button, but we want that off since we want to use the controller and a mouse. So we uncheck that, and then we check this. You don't want the controller rumbling with the wire in it, or I mean, there's no reason for it. You're not even doing this for, you're doing this for an FPS. You're doing this to win. You're not doing this for whatever you want to call that, feeling involved in the game. You don't want it. You're not playing 4K rumble surround sound. You're just doing this as an FPS winning strategy. So anyhow, you change the settings here. You can make this anything, and now basically you click enter capture mode for it to all start. Now once you move the mouse, you'll see there's a green little I don't know what you call it, a little measure tool telling you how much you're moving your mouse, so that's how you know it's working. You have, okay, I almost forgot, you have your mouse settings as well here. This is where you can set all your basically information that the program's going to use with your mouse. So right here you want to basically set the same DPI as what your mouse is. If you don't, basically don't, because you're using the sensitivity and acceleration. You want to use all these settings for how fast your mouse moves. You don't want to use this too. That'd make it very complicated to use both. So set it to whatever it is, and then use this program to set the speed and whatnot. Now what I've noticed is I don't know, not every game, but well, it could be, I don't know. At least for Star Wars Battlefront 2015, there is acceleration built in for controllers. So if you move the analog stick slightly to the left or right, just try left, you'll move slowly and then you'll move fast. Well, that's built in for controllers. Well, just for controller users and their sake. It's because, I mean, you can't do what a mouse user has. A mouse user can move slow or fast if they want to turn. Yeah, so that's built in. So you can't actually get rid of that with acceleration or sensitivity that I know of. I've tried switching these up, trying tons of random things, and it didn't do anything. So these are my recommended settings. I use 42 every time. Some people say to use like, I don't know what it was, 130 something for PS4 or Xbox One. It changes, it depends, but I don't think it really matters. I didn't notice the difference. Dead zone is something that you're going to choose for every game. I think Star Wars Battlefront 2, I found it was good at like 7-ish, I think. So it depends. Basically, if you set it to the wrong thing, it'll miss pixels. Like basically, it's not going to update this. It's kind of like not updating the mouse where it's at. So you're like skipping sections and your aim will just feel laggy. Yeah, so smoothness is also like a lag thing. It doesn't even, you can see this line. It's adding latency. The response time goes down. I wouldn't even recommend it. There's no point. Yeah, so those are my settings. You can test the dead zone option here with the circle test on any game if you want to do that. These are just my settings for Battlefront, and also these are just for Battlefront. You'll have to change it for every game. But yeah, just make sure that you have your mouse up, down, left, right on the aiming, on the analog stick, the right one, and then all your other options here. The reason why I don't have L2 assigned, and I just have like random keyboard things, is because I actually use the left side of the controller for those buttons. I use L2, L1, the emoting buttons. Not this button. This button's on my controller, my mouse, not my controller. Because you can see the mouse option there, and I use the analog stick to move. Now, one other thing so you can also use scripts at the same time. As I said, you cannot. I'll probably make a different video about this, but you cannot use a controller to move left and right quickly like a keyboard. It's not a button press. It's not left or right. So there's a script that I do use with this. That I will not be showing in this video, but that is the only downside to a controller, or to from it using a controller to a keyboard, is you don't get it depends on the games. Like analog stick is just way better than directional keyboard buttons, but in Battlefront, at least on PC, you can strafe in the game. You can move left and right really quick. Battlefront 2, you cannot, or so it seems. So that's the one downside to an analog stick, but it's good for a lot of games, or games that don't allow you to strafe that fast. So yeah, that's a good rundown. And if you have any questions, leave it in the comment section. So enjoy the